So, new improvements again. There are several more coming that we'll go over, but the first improvement, the one that was sent live this weekend, is going to be the premium options model. If you guys have followed TradeTech at all, we released a uh, premium swing model that's just based around ES or the S&P 500, and that's been running live for about 2 months at this point. And its track record is 10 wins and 0 losses. It's had one break-even trade. And historically, I basically applied an options model and risk management strategy after a lot of significant back testing. I came to a strategy. It basically is going to blend a mix of at the money and out of the money contracts. You can see down here there is a blend. This is if you only did at the money. Your average returns about 110% per trade, and so we do a blend. So each signal is going to send out multiple contracts in one signal, and it's going to have a ratio that it gives you, and so you're just going to simply take those. And if your account's pretty big, then you might take some multiple of what it suggests. So it's pretty simple there. But yeah, obviously incredible results here. Obviously this is back tested, so it doesn't indicate future performance, but this is obviously a clear extreme edge that it has. And anyone that's been following the swing model up to this point knows that there's an incredible edge in it. And if you guys have seen Hoosier or Cobain or myself printing on options or like long SPY trades or SPX trades, a lot of those are simply based on when this model fires and following that thesis. So yeah, we average around 110% per trade, and a lot of these trades do actually go up. I think the highest MFE, which would be the maximum gain that you see during the hold period, did actually get up to like 700 or 800% in back testing. And like the trade last week, for example, my cons were up about 550% at peak. I got pretty lucky and like sold the top on those. But yeah, so it's really impressive results. One loss in the last year here, and to put it into context here, you can see that even if you're risking 10 or 20% of your account, you're getting 110% on average per trade, and you're getting on average about one trade every 8 or 9 days that this is going to spit out. So it's really impressive. Um, Oops, sorry. And again, we've implemented. I've went ahead and gotten the highest data subscription from Massive for options data, and so this is going to have fully automated, accurate options alerts. We will kind of go into what exactly those look like in a little bit, but this is the gist of it. There's going to be the thesis that fires, which is the premium swing thesis that already exists. And the only new thing on that is there's going to be an options watch list. So it's already going to select the most optimal strikes and expiration dates for the highest profit for that thesis. And then if you don't want to look at that, you don't care, whatever, that's fine. You're going to get automatic entry alerts when the entry is triggered, and you're going to get automatic trim alerts and close alerts. This is one thing that just recently got added to the closing logic. We found that, for example, like last week when price on Thursday closed up near a target but didn't quite hit it, with options, it's actually better to close the entire position on that day instead of try to wait for that last expiration day to try and squeeze that profit out. On average, you're actually going to make more money if you just sell. So that's all built in. It's going to automatically tell you to close based on how you're going to get the most amount of profit. This is a really exaggerated simulation here, but I just went ahead and said if I've got a 2K portfolio and I went ahead and used 50% position sizing on every single trade from the back test, what would my profits look like? And so again, this is extremely exaggerated. Everything past like 100K to a mil, you're going to get liquidity and slippage issues. You're not going to be able to actually do this. But the 2K to 100K, is legitimate results that you can achieve in 3 months. It is really aggressive sizing. I'm not going to be using 50% sizing on every position. We'll get into exactly how much it tells you to risk and what that means for you maybe. But it just gives you an idea. This model is incredibly powerful and it has real profit generating potential. And again, this is just kind of a breakdown month by month. It takes you about 3 months to get 100K with a 2K portfolio using this aggressive sizing. And again, this note down here, there is only 11 trades that we have live actual data for here. The rest are simulated at a conservative gain of, I believe it's like 65%, which is lower than what the actual documented average is. And you still see these incredible results. So just to give you an idea. The Analyst Plans channel is the other new thing that's come to TradeTech starting this week. This is going to include just my thoughts and my portfolio. I am going to aim to get this portfolio to $1 million by next year. I'm simply going to be following the automated alerts. It's not going to be really much else other than that. So it's really just going to be me posting my results and posting, if there's an odd time I'm taking profits or something, I'm going to be posting that. And I'm going to be kind of updating you guys on how I'm sizing throughout it. But it's not going to be direct like entry, exit every trade because that's simply going to come from the automated options alerts. Also, there's some days where I wake up and I see a trade very clearly and I think there's a certain level to buy. For example, that on Friday I was like, hey, 23s is a really good level to buy. The market went down on the open, 23s hit. Anyone that took that with me made money. And so a lot of this stuff I've been kind of posting in Stock Talk as TradeTech was free for last week, and it's kind of been in development, and so I've been sharing things a lot publicly. But a lot of these actual trade ideas that I have that I think are really high success rate, any kind of breakdown of the automated signals that's happening, any trades I'm looking to take based on those, that's all going to be posted in this Analyst Plans channel now. I'll still be around in Stock Talk, of course, but this is really where I think this would benefit most people in TradeTech, just helping understand what I'm thinking at any given time. And again, so just learning how to allocate, telling people how much of my options account I'm risking based on how much I have will hopefully help people kind of understand how they should be sizing as well. And again, I'm working on a lot right now. There's 13 ideas that I wrote down at the end of last week, and I'm constantly working on upgrades and improvements. So here's a couple. Improved machine learning algorithms. I am going to be really going ham on going into each model and having them actually collect data about themselves and review the data themselves, and then they'll be able to actually improve their own strategies or even incorporate new risk management strategies or entry and exit strategies into their own model completely on their own. And so some of the stuff already has minor algorithms like this built into them, but I really do want to make it professional grade and just cover the whole suite thoroughly. And so that's one big thing. Premium options model is also in development for individual stocks. It's going to be a little bit different than the one now. It's going to really focus on high beta momentum names. There's still some logic I have to figure out with it, but it is in development and it's looking promising. But there's a lot of data that I'm bringing in with that one, and so the cost is high. It's going to run me probably $600 to $800 a month for data costs, and about half of that I'm already paying for. So really, the more support I have from people, the faster this stuff can get done. Because I'm treating it like a business. I'm trying to make sure that I have the demand from people and that they like my products before I really go for this big stuff. But this is a huge one, and I think a lot of people will like that, so it is high on the list. Upgraded data sourcing, like I said, as we grow, data is going to get better. Everything's going to be real time. Everything's going to be super accurate. I'm going to have the highest tiers of data from all the providers that I use. It's just natural stuff as people show interest in TradeTech. One big thing also, the price is grandfathered in. Yes, Johnny. Yeah. So whatever you sign up at, you'll get. And yeah, as we do kind of expand, and once my data costs kind of exceed that 800 to 1K mark, the price will go up eventually, but probably not till later this year, I would guess. Candle close signals. There is a method of future signals that are based on candle closes right now, 1 hour and 4 hour candles, and that's how they stop out. This is kind of a pain point, not only for myself, but for a lot of traders, especially if you're trading prop. It's kind of hard to know what to do here because you can get liquidated on an entire account by waiting for a candle to close. And I know a lot of people who do trade futures trade prop, and it's not really helpful for options traders either. You have to watch the chart. And so I haven't started on this, but it is, again, one of the 13 things that I'm very keen on getting done, is redesigning this in a way that makes it live action information that you can use. You don't have to be watching a chart to know when to stop out, and you don't have to wait for a candle close to know if you're stopped out, because it really just doesn't work for the majority of people. Even though the environment, when the signal fires, it's a positive EV signal. It means that the conditions are good, they're in your favor. I don't think that it's quite good enough yet, and so that's a redesign that's coming. And then the morning snapshots, which do post into free signals and the future signals channel here. I just think it's a little bulky. It's a little difficult for some people to comprehend and to find actionable information out of. And just monitoring it live over the last couple months, I've really noticed that when the model finds an actual direction in this top line here, like moderate short on gold here, that seems to be when there's actually a trade that can be taken. And so I'm going to do some redesigning there and probably just remove that embed entirely and try to focus on, well, what's actionable and what can we actually tell people that can make the money for that day out of that data. So that's, a few things that are coming soon. There is more, just some quality of life stuff, some visual stuff, but that's the gist of it. Does anyone have questions about any of that at this point? Okay. Cool. So one thing real quick, I just want to explain also here how the swing model works in case you guys are wondering. I'm not going to bore you here, but just for anyone that's curious. It has 64% accuracy. This is, again, because some trades stop out break even, but it does only have like a 0.2% or a 2% stop out rate. When the score is high, so when it tells you to size more, it's 91.4% accurate, so it will actually win 91.4% of the time. Most of the signals are going to be that score, but it just kind of depends. So it begins by collecting data. It runs after market close every day. So you'll see premium swing model signals. They'll fire one at a time. Once a thesis is not active anymore, it's going to scan at the close every day until it finds a trade. It finds an entry zone where the conditions line up and we have positive expectancy, and so then it's going to fire a signal to us. This is what it's based off of. These are just some of the things that I use. I'm not going to bore you with how they all work, but we're basically looking at Fibonacci levels. We're looking at market memory. This is a look back algorithm that I built that looks at precise touches at levels, and the more touches that are at very specific levels, it adds to the scoring there. Fibonacci timing, so we're using time series based on Fibonacci working days. And so it's looking at significant pivots and it's counting Fibonacci days from there. And if we get a zone that lines up during a Fibonacci timing period, then it's scoring it higher. Round numbers, Gann square 9. This is a Gann level projection methodology. It uses math to find levels at all-time highs and all-time lows. This allows the model to work when there are no levels that have actually been traded before. It looks at volume exhaustion, range extremes, and it looks at timing. So that's kind of how it's all scored. You can see the win rates, scores, and again, these win rates don't mean that you'll lose 42% of times here. It just means that it breaks even more often. And often the trade will go in our favor. So that's why the options model and the way the trimming works actually has close to 100% win rate here across all scores. And that's just because of how the trim and the management strategy that I've set up for the options model works. Trade management, it's very simple. It goes until the alert expires, and it takes partials at target 1, and it tries to hold to target 2, and at break even. It trails the stop at break even once you've taken profit. Again, this is all automated, and it'll be really easy to track. Here's what an example looks like if you haven't seen it yet. This is what the thesis looks like. It tells you the zone to sell or to buy. In this case, the zone is 25 points wide, so it's pretty simple. And then the options alerts will just automatically tell you when to get in and out after that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Next part, I'm going to quickly go through some signals and just explain how I kind of use this. Maybe take 10 minutes here, and then we can open it up to any questions that anybody has. So first thing you'll see, analyst plans, premium swing model. These are the two most important things. These are things that we just covered. And this is an example of what the options alerts are going to look like here. So if you get an entry triggered for a call, right, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to enter 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these. Now it gives you the total, right? So it's 1570 is the cost to enter all of those contracts. And it gives you a suggested risk, 6 to 10% of your trading account in this case. Some of you guys might have a $2,000 trading account or a $1,000 trading account. You're obviously going to have to risk more than what this says in that case. I think once you get above about 20 to 25K in your trading account, if you're sitting in that spot, then you want to follow these pretty closely. But these are really, really conservative amounts. You know, you guys have seen the win rate of the model, and it performs very well. So this is really conservative. I'm personally going to be doing more than this in the early stages of my trading account, just to try and grow the account a bit, and then I'll be sizing back as I grow it. So if you have a $50,000 trading account, you don't have to enter 211. You just multiply these, right? So maybe you want to enter with a 10K position size, let's just say. So you just multiply this by like 4. So you'd enter 8 of these and 4 of these and 4 of these. So you just do the math based on your own trading account there. And this suggested sizing is all going to be based on actual expected profitability of the signal. So when you see here like higher scores have higher win rates and better average P&L, it's going to tell you to size higher on those trades because they have more expected profit. So pretty simple there. And it doesn't explicitly say that, but it's it's all logical. The trim's very simple. It's going to tell you to sell. It's going to tell you which contracts. So it's going to only trim off like 1 of these or 2 of these, and then you're going to hold the rest. And it's going to tell you how much time till expiry. Hold the rest per the plan. These are what the closing alerts look like. This is going to be the losing alert down on the bottom. Close all, negative 51%. Negative 50% is the most loss you will ever take, unless there's a giant crash and you just can't get out. So obviously always size options for 0. Most of these options are going to be anywhere from 3 days till expiry up to like 14, I believe, is the max that it will give. So yeah, try to size for 0. Don't all in unless you are okay losing all of that money. But generally, it's going to tell you to get out at negative 50%. That is the max loss that the model has built in. And then this is the gaining trade. Again, it's just going to give you the trade, how much you made per contract. And yeah, pretty simple there. And if you haven't seen it, this is what the actual initial alert would look like. This was the last one. The only difference is it's going to include an options watch list at the bottom, and it's going to tell you which contracts we're watching for that signal for the week. Future signals, again, going to be kind of reworking this so it won't be so in the way and you won't have to scroll so far to see everything, all of that. I'm trying to fix that a bit. But how I use these, I'm trading on a prop, and typically the only signals that I'm actually taking from here on my prop account is these high probability level alerts. These have defined risk and they have hard stops. So it's really simple. It's going to give you the historical win rate based on backtesting. It's going to give you a level to enter at, a target, and a stop. So you can very simply just put an order at the level, put a bracket, put a target at the target, and put a stop at the stop. It's super simple. It gives you the risk per unit. So if you say, I don't want to lose $700, well then don't trade this alert. And there's a very similar one that happened for the S&P. And so you enter here, target here, stop here, and maybe $230 is more manageable for you, or you want to take a couple of these, then you just figure out how many contracts you want to enter. So that's all I trade on prop, really. I don't typically trade the other signals, these, because again, they're based on candle closes, and they are hard to manage risk. And again, these are going to be going through a major redesign to make it easier for everybody to trade. The logic's going to be the same, but the entry and exit logic and the actual alerting of those is going to be much improved. So that's the gist on that. Again, these models here in the future signals chat, they cover oil, silver, gold, S&P, and NASDAQ. So you'll get five different products, and it's profitable on all of them over time. So equity signals, again, has performed really good lately. This actually pulls names in from our Sunday scan, from our earnings. This finds like earnings gappers, earnings reports that went really well or really poorly, especially when there's raised guidance or lowered guidance. Those are going to go straight into the earnings analytics bot. And equity signals is actually going to tell you when a setup triggers that's profitable on those names. So if you don't want to worry about all this random shit down here, you don't have to. You can just look at equity signals. It's going to tell you when a setup fires. There's going to be a lot of improvements coming to equity signals. As time goes by, I'm actually collecting data on specific setups, and I'm looking at a bunch of different triggers. I'm looking at a bunch of different indicators, whether it was an index trade, a stock trade, if it was a earnings gapper up or down, how far was the gap, how did it perform based on that. I'm looking at fundamental metrics and how things perform based on that. So over time, all of this data is going to be fed back into equity signals, and they're going to get really good. They're already profitable, but I just thought I should share that. But yeah, it's super simple. These aren't options alerts, but again, they are going to be. There's going to be an options model specifically for equities, and so that will come. But these aren't built for options. You can take them at your own risk. You should check liquidity and all of that, and if you're not comfortable doing that, then you should probably just ignore this or take the equity trades as they're stated, just as equity. I don't really trade too much equity short term right now, so I don't really use this channel, but it's absolutely useful. If you've seen the daily recaps, a lot of these have been printing, especially the earnings gappers. Morning briefing. Again, I use this pretty much every day. A very simple way to use this is just to put the levels on your screen. I'm always going to favor the premium swing model over anything because you've seen the win rate. Okay, this is simply just levels and it's an AI generated plan. Okay, so I want to do a little work on this too to probably take the AI aspect out completely. I think it's good, but I have some things that I want to work on with it. But anyway, it's something I use every single day. It's got the high of day zone and low of day zone. These are proprietary zone generations that I built over the course of weeks. I spent a long time figuring out how to make these accurate. And so they're giant zones, but you'll notice that if you go and put these on a chart, like I do this every day, I simply just put these zones on my chart. I'm always favoring the swing model. I'm looking at those levels first. I'm trying to trade off those. But these are just kind of helpful for intraday for prop traders. And the high of day zone, we literally never go above the top, maybe a couple points. So it's a really good indication of when risk reward is on your side or not. If we're getting up towards 7494 on this day, you just don't want to be longing that. The risk reward's really bad, and the chances are we're not going to go higher from there. Same with the low day zone, right? 7357. It provides a really hard boundary that doesn't get crossed on like 97% of days. It's very accurate. So yeah, that's how I use that. I do look at the plans and I do look to trade those, and so that they're great for scalping if you're trading prop accounts. But again, this is definitely a tool that if you're sitting at a desk trading yourself, it's kind of for that kind of person. It's not for somebody that's looking to just follow a random alert and not really think about things. Weekly briefing I think is great for anybody. It kind of gives you how this is built. It's built with 4 AI agents. They all specialize in certain things. So one is like flows, one is risk management, one is like fundamental events, and so they all do deep research and they formulate their own opinions, and then they feed it into like an orchestrator AI model, and that AI model puts this this weekly plan together. So it's pretty accurate. It always has a thesis. It expects a certain close by Friday, and it tells you if it's bullish, bearish, what the sizing should be for the week. And so this is useful. I look at this every week, and there's always a key weekly level that it's going to give. The 5-day VWAP happens to be the level this week at 7475. So I will have that, and I just put weekly on my chart, and I keep that on my chart for the whole week. Setup cancel 7409. Again, put this on my chart, keep it there for the whole week. And then I quickly brief at the events, and I look at, okay, well, when's liquidity coming in? It bolds anything that's a significant market moving event. So you're going to look at Tuesday and you're going to look at Wednesday. These are the days that you want to be actively trading because markets tend to move from these things, and probably early Thursday or even the full day Thursday as well. I will likely be taking Monday and Friday off. So that's a simple way I look at the events, and I decide when I'm going to trade and when I'm not going to. And then based on the weekly thesis, it's always going to provide you a few option spreads. These have shown great success in the past. They usually perform pretty well. If you kind of pair them with the swing thesis that's active, and you enter at those levels, and you just enter those spreads, they typically do pretty well. Again, this is all kind of news-based. These bots, earnings and macro analytics, they look at news and they synthesize it, and they present you with opportunities, basically. So it's kind of it's a lot for some people. Some people don't want this stuff, but if you're interested in really being in the know, these are great tools. Macro looks at Fed meetings, and it will kind of tell you intraday setups. It will tell you what was said. Is it bullish or bearish? It just kind of gives you a brief update. It looks at big headlines that come out, like CPI, big misses or big hits, and stuff like that, big jobs numbers, misses, and it will tell you what stocks are going to be sensitive to that data, and it will kind of give you an implication of equities, yields, dollars. So if you're looking to find certain stocks that should be bearish or bullish, or just kind of want to know what's happening, this is the channel. And lastly, Sunday Scan. This again, it's just great for anybody that's looking to trade for themselves and just wants a quick watch list every week. These are all back-tested trade setups. This is going to look at all the fundamental context of all the companies and what's looking best for swing. Swing also looks at technical aspects as well, so it's looking what's best for a swing right now. It gives you what events are coming up and what to focus on there, as well as any zones that are key to watch for those names. And then investors, this is just looking at revenue growth rates, valuations, growth ratios, and it's telling you what's looking best for investors right now. And then this one looks at technicals, so it's looking at like a volume profile, and it's giving you actual back-tested setups. So this has like a 68% win rate. It's going to go push back up this week. And yeah, so again, if you're looking to trade for yourself, this is a great tool. Go and mark some levels on those, and just kind of monitor price action early in the week and see if they set up for whatever trade that you want to take on them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys are wondering anything else, or you've got your own questions about literally anything, now's the time to ask, and I'd be happy to help you out.
Is this something that's only on the premium?
Yeah, so this is the TradeTech membership. So this won't be under Premium Bull. This is just TradeTech stuff.
How do I do with SPX?
Sorry.
So with the signals, if I would like to go with SPX, for example, this just figured the trade. Let's say for those 5 calls or puts.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go with the SPX?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The backtesting found that they're pretty much similar. I mean, SPY is just better because it's a little more liquid and you have better spreads. And the majority of people in here, I don't know, maybe not the majority, I don't really know, but I would think the majority of people in here would be able to risk better with the sizing of SPY contracts. So that's kind of why it's just going to default to SPY on everything, but you could absolutely trade SPX if you want to do that. There's no issue.
All right. And are we going to have that the signals for 0DT as well, or that would be multiple days on drive?
For what?
Would that be 0DT or like a 2-3 days of the trade, timing wise?
I think he meaning is it going to be zero DTEs or is it multi-day swings?
Oh yeah, so they're all swings. So
Okay.
the lowest DTE you'll ever see is on short trades. Short trades will be 3 DTE. Um, and the lowest you'll see long trades before is 5 DTE. But I believe they go up to I believe it's 14. It could be 21 though. I can't recall off the top of my head. But yeah, these are all going to be swing trades, so you will pretty rarely be entering and exiting in the same day, but on some cases that might happen. But yeah, never 0 DTE. Anything else?
That's all from my end. Just wanted to see
Cool.
because I'm sucks at the swings.
If you guys have any questions, now's the time.
Oh, you are there.
I've been here.
All right. I didn't see you. Okay.
I think you already answered this just now, but earlier Zach Palmer asked, TradeTech is its own separate software, or signals will be posted in the Discord?
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, it's its own separate software. It's not. They aren't my signals. This is the Python model that's going to post all under the TradeTech role, and so you won't see any of this unless you have the TradeTech subscription. And if you guys,
I think.
sorry, yeah.
Sorry, I think the question what he meant was like, do you have to download another software, or can I
Yeah, so they're all in Discord. Yep.
Yeah, when you purchase Trade Tech, you don't have to leave Discord. You're still gonna get
Nope.
everything here in the Bullprint server.
Yep. And these options alerts, they're all, I know it doesn't show it here, but when they actually live send, it's gonna at Trade Tech at Triable, so everybody will get a notification to their phone. Um, that will be eventually set up for everything. I think it's just a little much to be adding everybody for everything right now because there's quite a few signals. So it's something I'm working on. But right now, premium option signals, you're going to get an alert to your phone every time.
I was gonna say, Mo, meaning to talk to you about this. We should get a role set up so that they can sign up for it.
I was think, what do you mean, like options, equity, like that kind of thing, or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like in the analyst, notifications page, we'll just do that same thing. I'll do another separate one for Trade Tech, and then
Uh huh.
if they want to sign up for options, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Equity is cool.
yeah.
And they'll just get a role that
I
has
like that. Yeah, I think that's good.
sweet. Let
Cool.
me know when that's all set up, and I can make that. I can make that. I can set that up pretty fairly easy on my side.
Cool. Well, yeah. I mean, if this sounds interesting to you guys, yeah, I'm gonna be running up this portfolio from 2K to the goal is 100K by the end of the year, and if you want to run that with me, and you've got the patience, that's gonna be a fun thing to do. So yeah, I mean, DM me or Wax, and we can get you 50% off your first month. Um, if you need some time, just take your time, and if you want to see more results, then just keep waiting, and I'm sure it'll be more convincing as time goes on. I'm just gonna continue making improvements. So
Like we said, Trade Tech's not going anywhere, and it'll be here long term, so you got time to think about it. But as he said, as data costs improve within the some future, prices will have to increase. So
yeah,
lock in that grandfathered rate. That's what we're saying.
yeah, Johnny, it does start tomorrow. There is not currently a swing thesis, so I won't be taking any options trades tomorrow. But the model will um, it'll fire again after the close tomorrow, and then if there's a setup, it will fire. Typically, there's not much of a wait time between signals. Right now, there just happens to be. So I'm expecting one to probably fire this week. It's just a matter of when it finds a setup that works. So, but yeah, I am at my account's at like 1800, so I'm just taking that account, and the next signal that fires, it'll be the start. So, yep, no worries. Last call for any questions. Otherwise, we'll cut it here.
I have a question.
Yep.
Just based on it's a subscription regarding question. The question is,
Mhm.
um, I have a, I have subscribed for Vex, uh, like other blueprints, I would say,
Uh huh.
and we have a trade tag in it. So like, if we would like to merge that subscription for both of them, is there any price difference, or it's completely different, or like merging both?
Yeah.
Any
Ask that one more time. Are you talking about
He's
a potential bundle?
he's yeah. He's wondering if there's a bundle price. Yeah.